Hello, faithful listener, and welcome to Edquring Minds with me, Stephen Edwards. Today on our show, very exciting bit of cross-promotional podcast activity going on. I reached out to Jim Hearns, the creator and host of the Super Happy Fun Positivity Hour, a podcast which has been around a lot longer than mine and has many more listeners than mine, which I hope to siphon away from him. So I invited them on the podcast. Hopefully it'll bring some new ears to things. And if you're not familiar with Jim Hearns, I can play you a clip. Here we go. Here's Jim Hearns on the Super Happy Positivity Fun Hour.
Back with Jim Hearns on the Super Fun Positivity Hour. God, it's great to be alive. It is great to be part of the human experience. You, me, the old lady down the street, the young man playing football in the road. God, life is great. Every day I drop to my knees and I thank the Maker that he has given me the gift to experience this thing we call life with you, my brothers and sisters, in the arms race that is existence. If we could only use those arms to hug each other instead of hurt each other, then my God, would we not be living in a cylindrical paradise of perfection and pleasing peace that we could all partake in. I've got tears in my eyes, people, and they are rolling down my cheeks and they're touching my bare skin like tears from God, like little blessings from the Lord. If you're having a bad day, I'm here to pick you up. If you're having a great day, I'm here to lift you higher, higher and higher into the arms of an atheist Lord. I don't care if you don't believe in anything. We all don't believe in something, and some of us believe in some other things. It's great. You're great. I'm great. If you're not feeling great, you're going to feel great by the end of the Super Fun Positivity.
Great stuff. And Jim brought some of that positivity to the show, but you'll have to listen to find out how that went. Anyway, before we get to the show, let's have a word from our sponsors. This week, it's Ned from Netherly's Nooses. There's more than one use for a noose. Is there, though? Is there really? I mean, I just feel like nooses. I mean, I feel like if you have a noose in your house, you're just gonna think about it more and could go down that dark path. But according to Ned, it's if you have use for a noose, contact him. Anyway, on with today's show. Jim, fantastic to have you here. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Well, you know, I'm here.
Yeah, you are, and I'm delighted to have you here. I'm delighted for you to bring your aura of positivity into my home and onto my show.
Sure.
Well, for anyone who doesn't know, Jim is the host of the Super Happy Positivity Fun Hour.
Hour.
Yes, it's the funnest hour in podcast land.
That's what I say.
Yep. And of course, you've changed people's lives with this podcast. People, a bit down on the luck, just listen to your podcast and it cheers them right up. You've gone on to put out some spin-off media, books, self-help tapes, things of the like. Your books include What's Wrong with a Half-Empty Glass, which was your debut self-help book. Sold very well.
Not as well as I would have liked.
Well, I can certainly talk to you about that, let me tell you. The Inner Joy, the sequel to that, also did admirably.
You didn't do very well in the European markets, though.
Did it not?
No,
well.
Really big disappointments. Huge disappointments.
Yeah, well, maybe that'll all change with your new upcoming book, which is all about finding a few minutes a day to make yourself happy. It's entitled Spurts of Joy, The Art of Self-Gratification. I'm looking forward to that.
Do you know what I was thinking? I might not even release that. I mean, what's the point, I mean, you read it, and then it sits there on the shelf, just gathering dust. And then when you die, people just go through all this stuff and they put it in a charity shop or in the bin. I mean, is there any metaphor more fitting than a bunch of books in a charity shop? Rotten, brown inside.
Okay, I'm gonna, Jim, I'm gonna have to ask. I mean, you don't seem like your usual upbeat self that we're all familiar with. We all know.
No,
love.
I'm good. I'm fine. It's just, my dog died.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I really love that dog, man.
Did this happen recently, or?
It was last night.
Oh, Jesus.
He's gone now.
Oh, boy.
I'm all alone in this world.
I'm so sorry. I didn't I didn't know. I would have rescheduled or... Oh, that's awful. How long did you have him, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, he would have been 22 in September.
In dog years?
No, human years.
In human...
He had a good run.
22 is a good run for a dog. It's a very good run.
I thought he was gonna be with me forever. He was the only thing that was with
And
me.
he was 22 years old.
22.
You sure of that? You're not miscalculating?
I remember the birthday parties. I've got some pictures I could show you.
No, I'm good. I am. Listen, are you gonna be okay?
No, yeah, whatever. Just.
Because I don't want to do it if you don't want to do it.
I'm here now. Come on, let's super happy motivation, bollocks. Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, shall I start over and?
Fucking, I don't care, man.
I'm gonna start over. Okay, so I'm delighted to have Jim Hearns of the Super Happy Positivity Fun Hour on the podcast. Jim, you're an inspiration to us all. Your podcast is all about taking the hard things in life and putting a positive spin on them. You know?
Well, yeah. You know, I mean, terrible things seem to happen to me a lot in life, consistently, over and over again, since I was 4 years old, and my parents left me in a McDonald's playpen. They came back, but it was only because my mother ordered a quarter pounder and she didn't get the pickles on it.
And then they left again.
She left again. She loved her pickles more than her own son.
Oof.
More than her only son.
That's interesting because
the orphanage was pretty hard too.
The orphanage.
Yeah, they basically worked us like dogs. It was Oliver Twistian, if you will. Terrible people.
Is it still in operation?
No. It actually collapsed in on itself. Funny story. I was caught in the rubble for 3 days. And I had to sustain myself off mop water. Ironically, the same mops that I would use to clean the floors. And after that, I was sent to an abusive foster parents. Arrested when I was 15, not for a crime I committed.
Right.
I just looked like the guy who did it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they didn't investigate any further.
No, 5 years in prison.
So this is interesting.
5 long years in prison.
Because you originally started the podcast when you lost your job and your wife left you, but I'm interested.
It was like it was the circle of shit.
Yeah, you've had bad luck predating the podcast.
It just got to the point there when my wife left me for another woman. Another woman who turned out to be my actual sister.
Oh,
yeah, we found that out.
Oh.
No one really knew that. So she was raised by my parents. They kept her.
And
they apparently lived quite a good life.
Oh, and now she's got a new wife.
Yeah. Took a lot of the few pennies I scraped together, and then I was like, well, things can't get worse, and I started self-help, motivation speaking, turned into podcasts, changed lives, yada yada yada. But fucking everything's just blackness, isn't it?
I gotta say, I'm a little bit surprised that you're reacting to things this way because, I mean, even with all that other truly horrible, horrific, nightmare stuff that I didn't know about, everything that you've said on the podcast, you always react to times of hardship with pure positivity. That's your whole mantra. I mean, how is this breaking you?
Well, no matter how bad things got, and they got bad.
Yeah,
they got worse than bad. There was always Mr. Boots there.
Mr. Boots.
My little ray of sunshine. My little man. Excuse me.
Takes time.
My little prince. My little.
Yeah, you were fond of the dog. I get it.
He was such a good dog.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, devil's advocate. Couldn't you just get a new dog?
What the fuck? What? How do you replace someone as gentle and as kind as Mr. Boots?
There's shelters, there's breeders. I know a guy that just steals them from other children.
I had that Mr. Boots for 22 years when I was in prison for a crime I didn't commit, remember?
Yeah, I remember
I housed him. I paid people to keep him off the streets.
Mm-hmm.
I gave that dog a good life, and he gave me a good life in return.
You can do this for another dog.
I don't want to do this for another dog. I want Mr. Boots.
Right.
I want Mr. Boots.
Yeah.
You give me back Mr. Boots. You give me back Mr. Boots right now. I want
Right. Okay, and I understand that. However, Mr. Boots is dead. He is deceased. Okay, you know what, Jim? You know what? Okay, shut up. Okay, shut up. Okay, I sympathise to a point, but at the end of the day, you're Jim Hearns. Okay, you're the host of the Super Happy Positivity Fun Hour. We all want the Jim Hearns who's like laughy, jokey, turn that frown upside down. Go into a room and rub yourself happy. That Jim Hearns. And goddammit, I wanted you on this podcast so I could get some of your subscribers to subscribe to me. It's cross-promotional. Give me Jim Hearns, man.
You're right.
Get yourself together,
You're
man.
right, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's hard.
I know, but,
There's only so much you can take.
I know, but I paid for your Uber, and goddammit, you owe me.
Okay. You just shove it down. Just shove it way down. Okay, yeah, super positive, happy.
Okay, so let's do another take.
Let's go.
You ready?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm here with Jim Hearns of the Super Happy.
Hey, it's so great to be here.
Yeah?
I'm so happy.
Uh-huh.
Life's a gift.
It
It's
is.
a gift. You gotta enjoy the time you have.
Tell me about your books.
You don't know when it'll be over.
Your books and...
Are you be all alone? And you wanna miss the boots?
Okay, this is just disturbing more than anything else. This is disturbing.
Hold me, Edquiring Minds.
I'm not gonna hold you. I'm gonna request that you scoot a little bit further down the couch, among other things. Okay, this is a disaster of. Okay, Jim, listen to me. Pull yourself together. Okay, listen. You have been living in a bubble. Say, okay? You've been living in this bubble where, bad things happen, but that doesn't make it bad. You put out all these books about how, the glass might be half empty, but that's okay. This is needed for you, okay? This is a wake-up call. You want to know about hard times? Let me tell you about hard times, say. Let me tell you about hard times. What about when you're a respected news organization person and you're on television all the time and then you make one joke by someone who was, in fairness, pressing your buttons, and then it's all gone, okay? It's gone. The house, the cars, it's all gone. And then you've lost your reputation. You've lost the respect of your peers. And that's even worse than the money.
It's pretty bad.
Or the cars. And then, but you pick yourself up, okay? You pick yourself up, and you start a podcast, which you have to finance. And you get yourself some guests, and it always goes tits up every time. It just
goes so everything just goes wrong.
Just,
everything is wrong.
And I never had them, Mr. Boots. I wish I had done, because the love that you feel, I never had that. I've never had that.
I never had them either.
I never lost someone and been so. Okay.
You wanna hug it out, man?
I mean, I will allow you to hug me. I can't say that I will hug back.
Okay, I'm coming in.
Okay.
Okay,
nice. Watch the hands there. Watch the hands.
It was so warm. It's okay, let it out.
Sometimes I just.
Let it out.
Sometimes I feel like. Sometimes when I'm doing autoerotic asphyxiation, I want it to go wrong, And I wake up every time, and it's like.